Okay, it's 10:02. That clock says 10 o'clock or a minute up, but we'll get started. We'll open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is consider the approval of the minutes of the January 23rd, 2014 meeting.
I would move that we accept the minutes as presented.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Excuse me. Next item on the agenda is consider the register of claims totaling $2,486,781.67.
I've read the claims, and I would move approval.
I would second that.
We have a motion approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
I'd like to add that that's probably half of that is construction costs of our CSO-related projects, so
Morning, Mr. Court.
healthy claim on that.
Sorry, I was in Blackfoot County this morning, and the roads on 3 aren't exactly the best,
No,
except for Delaware County.
except for Delaware County, has a good catch. Very good, very good.
No snow at all this year.
The next is a response to public comments from the last board meeting on January 9th. And this was a question that was raised on a few of the invoices. And Tracy Barton, our department head, has researched it and then will answer those questions.
Hi, Tracy Barton, Superintendent, Engineering, Sewer Maintenance. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Tracy.
Thank you.
While Tracy's handing those out, I'd just like to say that, we're not required to give these answers, but we have, and this board has always in the past, and the department heads have always gone overboard to answer any questions and try to clarify it, so it's just not a question sitting out there. So in the spirit of full openness, Tracy's going to give a report on this.
Yes, at the previous meeting, Mr. Marsh had questioned some services by Smoot Landscaping on the mowing of the levee last year. He didn't have the invoice numbers, and I didn't receive that from him, but I went back and done some research. There was 4 instances. Due to the bypass pumping along the river, there had to be a ramp construction and built, and that original invoice was $500 for the initial construction and the materials, and then $750 to weed eat areas around that pipe that had initially always been able to be mowed. And then that was a $1,250 claim. After that, $750 just for the labor to do the mowing.
Well, that pipe runs the entire length of the levee, basically.
Absolutely.
I mean, and as you said, it isn't just going out there and weed eating 5 foot.
Sure.
And we knew there was going to be an expense when we put that pipe in. So this is not, a surprise to us. Let's put it that way.
No, it was all pre-approved. We knew it was going to have to be done,
And that pipe's pretty much gone now.
for the most part.
It's still probably I'd say from at least from the plant going east past, is it still through the park?
Through the park,
It's probably down almost to Jackson. Would that be a pretty good assessment of
Yes.
where it is yet?
yes.
And that's Harold, that's the White River, so that's probably months away from being completely out of there.
Yeah, and by the time we start mowing again, I'm thinking, we started mowing, I think, April the 15th or the 20th. Hopefully, maybe by then, maybe gone.
I don't know if it's pertinent or not, but would that money be able to be paid out of that bond? Because it is part of that project. I don't know if it's important. It's not
I
a
would say
big amount.
it's
So we-
related.
Well, for the record, Mr. Marsh had $3,250 is what he was claiming. When I add it all up, it's $3,500
Okay.
to do
But
this.
you may want to get with Debbie, and we may take any of those expenses and take it out of your department and put it on the bond so that you wouldn't be running short in that department this year.
I'll do it.
That's over a 5-month period, correct?
Yes, that started. It was his last 3 mows, and he only mowed 9 times.
If we would have had our piping contractor weed eat and maintain that, we would have paid for it out of the bond. So just because we're
Yeah.
having somebody else do it, I
Right.
think it's,
And I would have guaranteed you we would have been charged more if we did it the other way, so.
Great idea.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did you say he mowed, how many times did he mow last year?
He just mowed 9 times.
Okay, okay. He, For that total contract, or for the whole summer, I guess not summer, but from mowing season, when does that start?
He started in April, probably the middle of April, and his last mowing would have been November the 15th.
So in that time period, it looked all right and everything? I mean, what?
Yeah, I had no complaints.
I mean, no, I guess.
I would call him when I thought it needed to be mowed.
So I guess what my question is a bad question. He did it, you think he did it, that's how many times it needed to be mowed?
Absolutely. And if you look at the invoices, they're lined out there. He had a mow on August the 19th. He didn't mow again until October the 10th.
Well, we're covered in, and I know there's not, haven't spoken about the contract for this coming year yet, but I'll just say this, that the comments that the administration office has gotten about the levy from John Craddock and anybody else you want to name that really is concerned about the river banks and everything else was probably the best that's ever been done.
Great.
Last year. Areas that have not been touched before were done, and so I think you did a great job out there on supervising it. If you remember, Mike, last year, what we did is we put this on a call basis, so somebody wasn't just coming cutting it in the middle of the dead heat, 95 degrees, as we did in the past. We were out cutting
Yeah,
the
no,
levee,
that
so.
was, Mike Quirk's suggestion. I think
Yeah.
that's worked out well.
Yeah, so, yeah, thanks, Mike, and it did work out. Tracy, you used good judgment and when to call them out, not when it didn't need, but when it was needed to keep it looking good all the time. So, again, I just want to comment that, since this has come up, that an outstanding job was done.
Thank you.
And also just to make sure, he would also respond within that 24-hour time period if you called him and said, hey, this needs mowed,
Yeah, I wouldn't call him. I would send him an email.
and he would
And-
respond within that time
yes.
period. And how long, just out of curiosity, how long did it take him to actually start to finish a mow? I mean, I know it probably changes, but
Depending on what crew he had, depending on how busy he was, if he had his full crew, he could get the entire thing done within a week, 5 days.
Good job, Trace, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board? The next is under new business. We have no new business at this point in time. And unless somebody in the public would like to come up and make some kind of comment, does anybody want to come forward and address the board? With nobody coming forward, we will adjourn the meeting. The next regular scheduled meeting will be on Thursday, February 6th at 10 a.m., same place. So thank you, everybody, for attending.